Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's going to be a little different episode than normal. We're still going to be modifying some stuff, but it will be a Razor Dirt Quad 500, the white ones. So, just been on baby leave here lately. We had our baby girl Reese. She was born June 8th, so that's pretty cool. Just been doing family stuff, and of course, when you're off work for so long, you start getting on Marketplace. So, I was able to scoop up two Razor 500 dirt quads. This is the small Razor dirt quad. I don't know what they call it, just a Razor dirt quad, but that's the one we've already modified. So it's running on 48 volts, and it's pretty quick. I mean, it's fast enough to moving it all around and have some fun. But these are very slow. So these are completely stock. They are basically brand new. I was able to get them for $600 a piece. I feel like that's a pretty good deal since they're in such good shape, and you cannot buy these right now. So I don't know if they're going to be coming back ever, or if they're just gone forever, or discontinued. But they are super fun. So there's no suspension really. The back, there's a little shock on the back. However, it's not plush in any way, shape, or form, but it is there. And then the fronts are just steel beam, I guess like steel axles across the front. So. However, these are 36 volts from the factory. They run just the lead acid batteries in there. I believe 3 batteries to get to your 36 volts, just 12, 12, 12. And they're pretty slow. So I think they may do around 10 miles an hour, somewhere in that range. I'll post a video of Macy ripping on this one. This one's kind of hers. I'll leave that one stock for now, until she gets the hang of it and rides it a little better. So, anyways. That's what this video is going to be all about, is making these Razor Dirt Quad 500s run on 48 volts with a new motor and everything. So we'll get started ripping. I think I'm going to rip this one apart. This one's going to stay stock for a while, but this is getting ripped apart right now. So check it out. Alrighty guys, so first things first, I think we're just start opening up with wherever I can. So probably just pull these screws off, see if this little panel can come up. This is where you charge it. Try to pull the panel up out of the way. And then I started taking apart the shield already, or whatever this is. It's just this screw up here, a couple screws down there, and then the shield pops off. So pull that the rest of the way off, and then probably try to get to the batteries, I'd assume. Probably want to remove power first. We'll do that, and then yeah, see about this, swapping out this motor. Well, that's pretty cool. They just got the battery on kind of some spring pins. You just kind of pull them out. Almost looks like it's, well, it stays in there. Doesn't look like it engages very much, but looks like it works. We'll pull this fuse probably, start disconnect all these batteries, and then I have a new lithium ion 48 volt battery to go in. Alrighty guys, so the battery that's going back in it's going to be this, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Aeroxian? I don't know. Aerox, whatever that is. Just off of Amazon. I think these things run, I want to say about $200, 48 volt. I have the similar battery in the orange quad, and it runs pretty good. So we'll try to get this thing somehow attached up in there nicely, and move on to something else. Alright, so I think I got a game plan on how to kind of get this thing sitting in there pretty decent. Super easy, pretty quick with 2 giant zip ties, and just, you probably got to weld on one thing, this little stopper piece right here, or something of that nature. I haven't figured that out yet. So, I will show you when I close this. If you close this like this, that battery is pressing up against this plastic box on the back, on the, I guess, the inside down here. And then if you just come up with the tab and have it push in the center, so we'll weld on one tab here and push on the center. That way that battery cannot move this way, whatever direction forward, backwards is. So I'm gonna start with that and see where that gets me. Alright, so I got this cut out on the plasma table. I'm gonna try to put her right in that location. Something like that. And that should hold the battery from moving forward and backwards. And yeah, should be good. Then we just gotta figure out how to hold it side to side. And I think I'm just gonna do something real easy. Just drill two holes, and run a big old zip tie through it, just in the downward direction, and she'll be good. Let me get this buzz down there real quick and we'll move on. Alrighty, that worked pretty good. So, as this thing comes up, the battery, you can see that it gets closer and closer and closer until, get it all in there real fast. Yeah. You lock it in, and once it's locked in there, you can't even move the battery. So it just kind of sandwiches it in. Doesn't move. Now we'll take, we'll drill some holes probably here and here. And then we'll run some zip ties up and around it, and I'll say that's pretty dang good. Alrighty guys, we're basically down to some wiring. So here's your, your power. Red is positive, obviously, black negative. Super easy. And the probably correct way to do this would be to solder on a new Dean's connector, something like this. However, we're not going to do it the correct way, and we're going to use some butt splices, or some insulated splices, I think is what they're called. Anyways, I use these for pretty much all my buggy stuff, automotive, whatever, and I've used this one on the orange quad and everything was good. So we are going to crimp on this bad boy with a Dean's connector, and then this thing's pretty much ready to power up, and we're probably going to just run it on the stock motor for a little bit, see how long it lasts, and go from there. Alrighty guys, so we are not going to be using this factory charge port anymore because that's for 36 volts, the charger is. But I still want to utilize where this thing is mounted. It's just easy for the kids to freaking pop this over, plug it in, and move on with life. So I'm going to pull this factory one out of here. Probably just cap these wires off. And then we'll make a new port. So the battery came with this on there. Just kind of a thread-in style, or a, I don't know what you call this thing, just a threaded insert basically. And that was on the battery like this. However, I need to lengthen this to run it to where I need it to go, plus put it through a hole so it locks in and everything's beautiful, it looks original. So cut it off the battery, and then basically just put some connectors on there, and we will mount this where the factory one goes. Jamming. Alrighty guys, so it's not much faster. Actually, I thought it'd be a little quicker with 12 extra volts, but it is really not much faster. So I think what it's limiting right now is the size of our motor on there. So we're going to swap that smaller motor out with a larger. This is the M1020 off of Amazon. Basically, it is also a 48-volt motor. So that's a 36-volt motor. So hopefully with the more voltage, a little larger, we'll be able to get a little more power out of this thing. So I am slightly worried about the size of that sprocket. So it's pretty small in diameter, which I'm assuming is probably going to be way too fast and too little of torque. So the orange one over here has a much larger sprocket, and that one is pretty good on torque and speed. So we'll swap this out from that one and give it a shot at least.
what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you.
Okay, so here's the game plan. So obviously this isn't just a cut and paste or replace a part, install a part type thing. So gotta build a bracket. So right now what we're looking at is that's the original bolt pattern right there, which is not the same bolt pattern as this. And to make sure this is all aligned, somewhere in that range. It obviously goes into the actual tube work of the frame, of the swing arm, so don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna go to the plasma table, plasma cut a bracket that fits this original holes mounting point. So we'll get a steel plate that goes here, and then I'll make it wider, probably all the way out here, somewhere in that range. And then we'll create some risers, so 2 risers on there. And then we'll mount this motor a little higher, so that way you can still get nuts and bolts through everything. But that's the game plan. Let's see if it works.
I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Flying, get on board. We're smiling on top of the world.
Alright, so this is kind of version 2 of the engine plate, but I'm going to make it adjustable just so I could take some adjustment on the chain and either, you know, tighten it or loosen it on however it needs to be. So we will put this on there, unbolt the one that's just on there right now, put this on there, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I got that other version 2 mount plate on there, kind of adjustable, and we just got to mount it at an angle so that way as the motor slides downwards it gives me more tension or less tension. So we'll get this somehow rigged up and mounted and go from there. Alrighty, so got it kind of tacked together. It's not solid welded on there or painted, but you know, it's probably good enough for a good solid run. So we'll test it out, see how it works. Just kind of adjusts on there, plenty of adjustment for a larger sprocket. We're on to just wiring the motor. So I'm just gonna cut off these ends. We'll put some, what do you call it, spade connectors on there. And plug it into the original plug way back there. It's the blue and white one, or blue and yellow one. I can't reach it right now, but anyways, blue and yellow connector. I'll just plug in the spades to that so I don't, I'm not going to cut off that wiring on that connector just yet. So anyways, let's do that and give it a try. Alright, so we got it all wired up. Next thing to do is just see if the tires spin. Oh yeah. Chain good? Whoopity! Slung that tool around. Got a little slack in it, I think. A little too much slack. We'll give it a shot, see what happens.
Alrighty guys, so it ended up being pretty dang slow on the smaller sprocket. I did lose audio on my GoPro for some reason. I keep having troubles with losing audio. However, got rid of the small, I can't even remember the count of teeth in this thing, but it's pretty small, and went with the 64 tooth sprocket, and along with that I needed a larger chain just because I went with such a large sprocket. So put a new chain on there and got it all nice and tensioned up, and let's take it for a rip. Okay, so last thing I did to this thing is put these handlebar risers on there just to help clear my knees, and it made riding this thing a lot more enjoyable. Alrighty guys, that's pretty much going to be it on this quad over here. So we got that new chain on there, everything's ripping pretty good. It definitely moves me around plenty fast to have fun on it, and if you have a little kid on there or somebody that doesn't weigh 180 pounds, it does actually accelerate and run pretty dang smooth. So I'm pretty happy with it. We've been running it for like, I don't know, about a week or so, and still haven't charged it or anything. I do want to put one of the little battery meters on here just so we don't run the battery completely empty. It does have a, what do you call it, one of the BMS chips on it, so it will kill the battery before it gets too low and damages it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I thoroughly enjoy ripping it around. It's definitely an awesome neighborhood cruiser. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on this, leave a comment below.